Well, how are we getting on? Welcome to a new video, slightly different to what I've been doing so far with all the fancy pictures and stuff popping up. There probably won't be much of that in this one. The missus is just back from doing a shift of night duty, so I can't be caught making any noise around the house, so I said I'd be best off just going to a park somewhere. And don't know if you can see it, but the water is absolutely disgusting. But yeah, said I just take this time, go for a walk, make a quick video, something a little bit different, a bit casual of a Sunday. So just going to really talk about what Chelsea have done so far in the transfer market, what we're expected to do going forward the next, well, I suppose the last few weeks of it, and then what I think our team should look like going into the next season to make sure we're in the best position possible. So at the moment, we still have a few players to sell that we need to get out the door. Felix looks like he's going to go to Saudi Arabia, and we're going to flip a profit on him, which is absolutely ridiculous. But at the same time, we'll take it. Nkunku and a few more players like that, they still need to have new homes found for them. Kieran Shrewsbury Hall and Sterling, they both seem like they could go to Fulham. I always felt like Fulham, West Ham, these London-based teams, they are where a lot of our players are going to go, I feel, just because of like the accommodation. They're settled here. I know Sterling in particular, he's got kids going to school and stuff in London. I know that personally myself. So they are the clubs we need to be dealing with. Juventus, AC Milan, a lot of those different places might take a punt, take a bet on the likes of Nkunku and that kind of stuff. So I do think there's plenty of opportunity out there for us to sell these players. We shouldn't be caught with a bomb squad again, not wanting to sign these players from us. Chilwell again, I don't know if he's gone or still with us, or I don't know what the story is. But I do think he might go to Crystal Palace or somewhere like that. So that's all fine. Pretty confident we'll be able to reduce the squad numbers that we need. But players coming in, there's obviously the double Dutch situation. Xavi Simons and the fella from Ajax, forget his name, Tato, gonna go with Tato at the moment, but Hato, it's one of those anyway, Hato or Hato. So they should probably be coming in, depends on valuation and if they can meet each other. I really hope that Xavi Simons comes, not because of any reason that he'll add to our squad, but just for the simple fact that I already have a video made about him joining, and I'm going to post it soon after he gets announced. So if he doesn't get announced, that'll be a good about 10 hours of my time wasted. Left or right? We'll go to the right, sure. Besides that, then I don't think we need a whole lot more. I saw there that there's been like stalls in contract talks between Donnarumma and PSG, and I think his contract is up in the next year or two. So he's 26, so he's far too old for us to go for him. Don't think we're going to buy him. So if the chance was there, I would absolutely take Donnarumma. I think he could be the final puzzle to have a lot of people stand up and say Chelsea are absolutely going to be title contenders and we're up there. But I don't think it's the kind of transfer we go for anymore. Maybe back in the day, but not anymore now. And again, PSG, they might just throw a load of money at it and he'll stay. I don't know. But there's not a whole lot more I think our squad needs. Pretty happy with it, in fairness. Like, I rather the stability in the squad. And I suppose just making sure that, I don't know where I'm going here, every kind of walkway is pretty dark. See, pure up into the forest, like. You wouldn't be able to see me at all. All you'll see is the old chain hanging out. But besides all that, pretty happy with the squad. And I think going into the new season, look, I think Sanchez, Reece James, Caldwell, Cucurella, all those positions are fairly kind of nailed down. The final centre-back role, look, I think there's been reports come out recently that Fofana is the preference over Chalobah, which I can kind of understand why they would do that. There's a fair bit of sun there now as well. Here we go. So fair enough if that's their preference, but I would rather Chalobah start. But again, all I want is stability for the most part, to make sure that like we know our starting 11. They can all play together and kind of gel and know kind of how to rely on each other and everything else like that. Midfield, obviously, you're going to have Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, if he's ever fit, Palmer, and then the only kind of positions really that we're not 100% sure on where or who's going to start where is the 2 wing positions and the forward role. The players seem to know themselves what's expected of them, apparently, between Delap and João Pedro. I don't even know how it's actually properly pronounced, but one of the other. So that's kind of really it for the most part. It's a good stability in the squad. I know it looks fairly chaotic from the outside, all this chopping and changing, seeing players go. But when you have a player like Madueke leave that had a lot of minutes last year, you can kind of see directly who's going to replace them. I do think Neto is going to start a lot more on that right hand side. It's his preferred position. He was pushed out to the left a lot last year because of Madueke being on the right. Our left hand side now has just seen most of the options leave. Sancho, Mudryk. So those minutes are going to go to there's a spider on me. Get him off! Those minutes are going to go to the likes of Gittins, Simmons if he comes in, Estevao, wherever he's going to play, however they kind of manage those minutes, etc. Again, I saw Inter Milan are interested in Andrey Santos, and it would be absolutely hilarious. I'm not going to lie, it would be absolutely hilarious if we were to sell him, because we've just spent so much time thinking about this player, talking about this player, assessing how he's got on at Strasbourg, and then just to sell him at the first opportunity would be comical. Apparently their director fancies him or something, or I have no idea. Just saw the book the other day. I'd rather keep him and see how he's like. He seemed to do really, really good at Strasbourg. Is it a case that we might just sell him to Strasbourg next season? Very, very likely. Just like we did with what's his name, Isigu or Sar, I think it was Sar. We've bought him from Strasbourg and now we're loaning him straight back again. Like, what is this about? Like, I get it's in all the UEFA and all their best interests to get more eyes and interests on the sport, but like some of these dealings you have to look into and be like, hang on now, how in the name of God should this be allowed in a modern game? But that's kind of it really. That's kind of my squad assessment. I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. Now Donnarumma would be fantastic to bring in. Chalobah being nailed down that centre back role, but I think he'll just come on and play and show that he's our best option there and nail down a position like he did last year when he came back and saved us. We'd rather send out the Sassy and then keep him in the midst of the centre back crisis. Then the midfield, don't think it's going to change a lot. Probably third season now consistently, which is all I want, is the consistency of Fernandes and Caicedo working together, because the first year it was woeful. Caicedo was way better off with Conor Gallagher, but Enzo has kind of found his feet and kind of understood his role a bit more. I actually like, and I know it sounds a bit ridiculous to have one of our best players played out of position, but whenever Lavia is fit and you play Lavia and Enzo together, and then at right back you have Caicedo, and Caicedo just cuts in to the midfield instead of trying to get Reece James and Malo Gusto to do it, and both of them aren't particularly great at it. Reece James can do it, but it's just a waste of his potential, and it's sacrificing good players' individuality for the system, which is Pep's philosophy that everyone tries to copy, especially Maresca, who's bald like Pep. He managed under Pep as well, so you can see why he's going to try and copy it a bit. But and Arsenal do it too, sure. They have a winger cutting in as well. They used to get the left back cut into the midfield position. In terms of all that, that's really my whole assessment. I'm pretty happy with the squad at the moment. The business we've done is always absolutely insane. I love to get people's opinions. Do you actually enjoy the transfer market and seeing all these different... I better start walking back to the car. Seeing all these different players coming and going. I get it's very exciting to see linked with so-and-so and everything else, and people can use their 8-week long free courses that they did in graphic design and slap on the player's head or slap their body into a Chelsea shirt. But like, I'd rather just the stability and just have consistent players. Bring in whatever 3 or 4 players you want. Like, fair enough, João Pedro, bring him in. Bring in the lap. See like the players leave then that should have left, like Nkunku, Madueke and Sancho. So they really are just direct replacements. I have no problem with that. but over thumping the positions with too many players and causing depth, and eventually just one player then in particular just being pissed off and wanting to leave is never something I kind of want to see too much. The midfield, again, we haven't really added to it. We brought in Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. I don't think anybody, not even Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, should have thought that he was going to start. So I don't really get what that transfer was all about. Like, maybe it's just because he used to work on the Maresca, but sure, Jamie Vardy used to work on the Maresca, so they're going to bring Jamie Vardy as well. But again, he's about 22 years too old for us to bring him in, so I think we're safe from that transfer. But that's about it really. Just a nice little walk in the park. If you can get out for an all walk yourself too, to be good for you, instead of listening to me ramble on the whole time on Twitter and YouTube along with the rest of us. But yeah, season starts or whatever it is now, I think 3 weeks. This time last year when we were 3 weeks out, we still had to sign Neto and João Pedro still to come into the squad. So you never know what we're going to do. You never know what market opportunities and stuff is going to arise. Sure, Isak all of a sudden, after most teams had already picked out their striker targets and bought them, Isak then decides, actually I want to go. After Liverpool, probably the prime team that would have gone for him, they've got a striker. Man United got a striker. Arsenal got a striker. We've got 2 strikers. Well, we'll say 1.5. We won't count Pedro as a full striker. And Man City would have no need for him. Unless he goes to Aston Villa, which I don't think is going to happen. If Watkins leaves, doesn't seem like the kind of transfer that would happen. But that's just insane. That is absolutely insane. So, I don't know where Isak's going to go. It doesn't really bother me. He would be great at Chelsea, but he's the kind of man now that you bring him in and he's going to start 95% of the games he's fit for. And at Chelsea, unless you're Cole Palmer or Colwill or Caicedo, it's not going to happen. So that wouldn't suit him, wouldn't suit us, and he's probably far too old for us as well. So that's the problem. So that's a really quick video. I'm not sure if I actually gave much context or talked about much at all in the video. Kind of sounded like I was rambling. I was trying to make sure no one was looking at me talking to myself, and I'm pretty sure no one did, so pretty happy with that. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, share with all your enemies if you wanted to as well. And yeah, we'll chat you then again soon. All the best, take her handy, good luck.